Hello, welcome. So I have this solar panel here with a audio jack soldered onto it. So what you can do with one of these is that if you plug them in to some like speaker or something, then you can get audio out from it depending on what light shines on it, or like if this light is blinking or something. So how you craft one of these is you take like a solar panel, something like this, 2 volts, 200 milliamp is what I use. And what you're gonna do is take like the black cable, which is negative, or if it usually the black cable is negative, and then take the negative and solder it to an audio jack. You want to solder it to the sleeve of the audio jack, which would on this one is, well, let me see, yeah, so you might have to like check with like a voltage meter or something like that, or some instrument to see like which one that you solder what to. Whatever the tip is connected to is on like which one of these like rings here. You want to solder that to the red positive cable. What matters is that it's positive cable that's connected to the tip, and the negative is connected to the sleeve, which is made like basically a contact from this in here, which the sleeve connects to, and this is where the tip connects to. Once you've done that, you really just need to, I guess, get some case or something if you want to it, or you can also just solder the solar panel directly to an audio cable, that works too. Then you want to solder the shielding to the the shielding to the negative cable, and the inner core of the cable to the positive one, if you want to do it that way. So then when you have soldered the audio jack to the solar panel, it's ready to go. Plug it into something that can output the audio source to something. It will generate electricity from light, for example by ceiling lamp or whatever shines upon it. I'm gonna demonstrate here. So let's see. I'm gonna turn up the volume and add a compressor to see if we can hear. You might hear a slight hum. I might record this and add it in post actually, so you can hear just the I started recording, so I'm gonna record and play it up later when I'm editing this. I'm gonna first show how it sounds without effects. It's not very noticeable, it's pretty low volume, so you might need something to like boost up the volume. So you can make it do different sounds depending on what shines it. So if I take some lamps and fling them back and forth, you will be able to hear the motion of the light. If I have a blinking light, you will hear the popping sounds that is in multiple lights, and you will hear that it is then, because of the lights switching on and off, it creates voltage signals that rise and drop like fast. If I take something like one of these lamps that you can press to like get electricity from the spinning I believe magnet around the wire that creates the electricity, then it creates the light. I get a specific sound from that, or from one of these lights that you spin. These are basically the same principle, and the one uses the like pressing motion that turns into spinning. That just you spin directly. You see they all make their own sounds. And this is right now, by the way, with the compression and volume turned up. I can turn off the compression so you can hear what it sounds without it. It's not as loud. I don't know, maybe it would work better if you had like a higher voltage solar panel, but I'm not really sure what the best voltage for this is. Didn't find that much videos on people doing this build. The ones I did found that plug this directly to like computer or guitar pedals use a 2 volt solar panel. I also don't really know what the optimal like milliamp of the solar panel should be, or if it matters. I mean, something determines the volume of it, but I'm not sure if what matters most is the voltage there or the amperage. I think it should be the voltage, but I'm not sure. I don't know also what maximum you could use before like you might damage your other gear if you have like too high a voltage or amperage. So I would recommend sticking to the 2 voltage unless you know maybe what you're doing, because I honestly am not a technician and you should not take advice from me. I'm gonna turn on a bunch of guitar pedals here. I can turn on the compressor and some bit crushing and maybe some distortion, and maybe we'll add just some spring reverb on top of that. Now let's see what kind of sounds we can get. Let's demonstrate. You can get like pretty large variety of sounds if you have like a lot of pedals you can use. Or if you have like an EQ, can do like quite a lot. You can like basically get noise from like different frequencies of the sound. So you get like a bandpass filter here. Let's try something like this now. Get some cool beats and stuff. So like if you had like a lot of these solar panels and plug them into like a mixer and have different effects on them and have like blinking lights and kind of, it's like, or like mix with some contraption with a lot of like blinking lights and stuff, you could probably get some like really cool electronic music with this. I'm planning on making more of these solar panels. I already have like more solar panels. I just have to like do some soldering and stuff. I'll turn on fuzz here. Let's see what that sounds like. Get like a delay on. might also not need more than one solar panel. I mean, one solar panel can like, it sort of like mixes the lights itself, like by having two different lights flashing at different times. It will like just naturally just combines them because it's just generating the electricity from the light that shines on it. So quite like an easy like beginner sort of like project to make, I guess, for like if you want to do like some sort of experimental electronic music or stuff. I can't actually think of something easier like electronically to do than this. That's solder and solar panel to an audio jack. It's not much more to it. I guess you just have to know how to solder. You might have to look up someone else's video to solder. I'm not gonna make that video. So this is like, I guess, basically the first physical sort of music instrument. Well, not really. I have made like some piezo instruments, but this is like the first, I guess, electronic sort of instrument I sort of made. I guess unless you count like digital programs and stuff like that. You can also like do something like this, like a LED strip. If I turn it, let's see here. You can see that it generates its own sound, and depending on which color this LED strip is, it will generate different volume and also slightly, I think, different like pitches and stuff. So it might mostly just be the volume that changes. So what I think with, if you can get some really cool phasing sounds if you have like it's flashing like this. I should say change colors like this, and so yeah, there's a lot of possibilities with this. Also the sounds also might change a bit when you change the, also the brightness, which might sometimes like introduce different pitches and stuff. Let's see if we can get something like that. You can see it. I have changed the brightness now of the blue, but it also like changes the pitch, like making it darker, which you might not expect. You might not expect the volume to change, but so yeah, there's a lot of experimentation and stuff with this. You can get a lot of like unique stuff. And then imagine you take something like this now and just add bit crusher, like, and get like overdrive, and you can get all kinds of crazy fucking shenanigans sounds with this. Get the reverb, get the delay, the fuzz, another fuzz, a distortion, a bandpass filter, the noise gate, and you can get all kinds of crazy stuff. Let's add some more reverb, and yeah, and just put like this. You can see like a lot of stuff you can do with this. I can get, this is probably really good for like ambient experimental stuff, but probably also like if you're just doing like some, I don't know, you could probably do some like, I guess any electronic music genre stuff with this. Maybe some noise music, that would probably be cool. It's probably very useful for that actually. A lot of noisy stuff. Now so you know, this is not just a solar panel using music. I mean, this is audio source, but it has plugged into a like bunch of guitar pedals here. Like, wait, let me. Let's see here. So yeah, there's like. There is a lot of guitar pedals active now. can go crazy, kinds of crazy fucking sounds with this. Let's get some footage here. Let's see, out of focus. Yeah. So that's an example what you can do. Quite crazy shit you can do here. So I really recommend this for a beginner's build. Quite a lot of fun to use this. I haven't used this much. I used it for a few songs, but I really should use it more. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's all for this video. Hope you watch the next one. I'm gonna do more music instruments. Perhaps no more. I have one projects I'm working on right now, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one, hopefully. Peace.